Hi, good afternoon. This is Kate at My Wayfaring Dreams. It's Tuesday afternoon. Looks like, well, it's Tuesday evening, a little after 6. We're supposed to be getting some rain. And I mowed a little bit earlier, and now I've got to get these little purple cherry tomato seedlings in a pot. So that's what we're doing today. And we're using half garden soil, a Miracle-Gro garden soil, and half mushroom compost. That's what they like. And they'll stay in these 4-inch pots till they get about twice their height, and then I will put them in their forever home. Several of them, I think 4 of them, are going to be grown upside down in old soda bottles. It's something that my friend Sean and I saw in a video on YouTube. An Indian guy looked fairly promising, and since I'm not digging a garden this year, I figure that'll be the best way, because I think tomatoes are the only thing I'm growing. I've got some sage and some rosemary, of course, already in, but don't want to put too much compost because I don't want to burn up. They're just little babies. Let's see. Here we go. Mushroom compost and Miracle-Gro garden soil. These have been under the grow light for several months now, and it is time for them to, I think it's warm enough they can be outside for the rest of it. I don't think we're supposed to be getting below 65 any longer. And in our house, you know, they've experienced that temperature, so it wouldn't shock them anyway. I'll still water them thoroughly because quite often when it says we're going to get rain, we don't get enough. Or we don't get any. So this old glass table that I got several years ago for my birthday with the 4 matching chairs, we don't ever use. Nobody ever sits at it but me. So now I've turned it into my gardening table. Because it sits back here in the corner by Paul's shed and just sits here. So I've used it for woodworking, as a woodworking bench. I've also used it for gardening table. Waste not, want not. I do have the plans and the materials, not the wood, but the hardware to build a proper potting shed, but in Delaware, it's quite expensive even to put up a potting shed, and there's a wait list to get in there. Isn't that silly? No plumbing to it, no nothing. But even to put up a plastic greenhouse, you have to have a permit. Yes, we're a state without sales tax, so they like to get you on everything they can for revenue. Okay. That looks pretty good. Some of these kept falling over, and I was blaming it on the cats because it seems like something they would do. And it turns out it wasn't the cats after all. It was their own root system, and their roots were reaching out and grabbing each other and pulling each other over. Very, very interesting. So these are going to be the purple cherry tomatoes, a little bit more exotic than I usually plant, but maybe they'll get eaten better. Last year I probably gave away more than I actually ate my regular tomatoes. Paul has this thing with nightshade vegetables, and also their sugar content, because you know tomatoes are so darn sweet, with his little special Dr. Berg following. There's the first one. So luckily I did have enough. I thought I was going to have to go out and buy a bunch of 4-inch pots, but I realized I had enough small ones that I hadn't put to use. And since they're only going to be in them for a short time. Ooh, look at the roots on this one. It was ready. Yeah. So I want them to have a little bit better, stronger root ball and stronger roots than that before I put them in the upside down thing and expose them to direct sun. They've still got their little baby fuzz on their stalks. So, there we go. But they're not going to leaf out anymore unless they have a bigger pot, tastier soil. They're too young to really fertilize yet. But if you don't know, tomatoes are heavy feeders, so you want the best tomatoes, definitely fertilize them. I also found some stakes that are just for tomatoes. They look like little pieces of rock or concrete, but they are strictly for tomatoes, and they have done well the past couple years. But I think since I'm using this rich mushroom compost, I may not have to give them any kind of special food. We'll just wait and see how they produce once they're upside down and growing. So I think 2 of them are going to go in the ground. Maybe where they thought they were digging up the septic and they just dug up the old cesspool that was being covered. Or I might put them out by the front garden, since you get a little bit better sun out there. And I can keep kind of everything in one central area. Go easy on my poor back. Whew. Now that's some long roots. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4. Oh, I thought I only had 6 and I have 7. I think my counting's getting worse as I get older. I only had 10 seeds. They were expensive just for those 10 little seeds. And all but 3 of them sprouted. So yeah, that's 7. They've been all clumped in the bathroom under the special grow light. So, and I hadn't really bothered to count them or do anything like that. So I'm going to need another small pot. And I have one that I evicted some ants out of earlier. But yeah, see these roots? That's why they were pulling each other over. Alright. Yeah, it's getting really still out here. And the birds are squawking. So, I know the rain's coming. You know, you spend a lot of time in your yard and in your garden and listen to your own local birds to use them as weather forecasters. I have to say they're better than the ones in Maryland who try to predict Delaware weather. Especially this part of Sussex County. We have our own unique, weird. Alright. Just drowned a bunch of ants and killed off their larvae. I don't know why they were deciding to live in that little pot, but they was. Trying to get more in the pots than I get in the on the table, but sometimes it's just not that easy. Especially since I'm doing a quick last minute thing and I'm in a hurry to get it done before the rain starts. And I didn't put any bug spray on, so of course a few mosquitoes are out, or having a feast day. They're like, she's allergic, she's immune to malaria, so let's bite her a bunch. Not that we have malaria mosquitoes here, but I like to use that as an excuse of why they love me so much. Alright, number 7. So I guess that's going to be 3 that will go in the ground eventually. So now that I've cut holes in the top of these bags, I'll set them in the shed so they don't fill with water and get the contents washed out or so heavy waterlogged that I can't lift. But we're going to give these a little drink for now to get them to set in. Like I said, I don't know how much of the actual rain we're going to get. Because you never can tell. Storms will come at us and then it's like they split off. They go north and they go south, and poor Milton just sits here. Okay. So these have been just growing in those little rooting cube things and water, so I'm sure this might be a shock, and there might be one or two that just don't take to the transplant and might die. I'm usually much luckier than that, but try to think practically. And there you have it. Transplanting baby seedlings to their first real home before they go to their permanent home. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video or learned anything, hit the like button and subscribe. Bye.